Hello there, I'm Kat, here with another first impression with a demo for a new game coming out. Which game, you may ask? Yes, it's Game Freak's newest platformer, HarmoKnight. They also happen to make Pulseman for the Genesis and Drill Dozer, which I happen to have right here on my desk for some reason. It has one of the weirdest cartridges that I've seen for pretty much any game. It's got a rumble pack in it, but it also happens to be this strange brownish reddish color, and I don't know why. But, I don't know. Drill Dozer definitely worth getting, Pulseman definitely worth getting. If you had to choose between the two, go with Drill Dozer, but I digress. As for HarmoKnight, should you go out and get the demo? Yes, you should, because it is just a ton of fun. It's very simple, so there's not really much to talk about. I guess I'll just go over what the demo does and has. But as for the game, there's really not that much to say up to now, other than rhythm platformer, good music. Not just good music, but for Game Freak, this is some of their best music. Like, you think the Pokemon themes are catchy and whatnot? This game, it's wonderful. It's very charming, the music. It's very catchy for one as well. It's just perfect for a rhythm platformer because it makes you want to make sure that you get every note perfect, and that's a real large part of it. But as for the actual demo, you get 3 levels, 3 tutorial levels, and then 3 regular levels. 2 of them are level levels, and the last one is a boss fight, but you can't get to the boss until you complete the other 2 levels, because you have to get some royal notes, which unlock certain spots on the map as you go along, I'm sure, during the rest of the game. But anyway, the tutorial levels, they're very catchy with the music. They're very easy as well. There's nothing really that's gonna make you go, geez, this was a real challenge. However, the other 2 levels, they're still easy. They really are not that challenging. I'm sure the rest of the game is gonna be much, much more challenging when you get to level or world 5, 6, 7, however many worlds there are. But that's not to say that this game isn't super challenging, or at least the demo isn't super challenging. Because there is one thing that really did bother me, and this is probably my only complaint aside from the game being very, very simple in design. It's that in the one level, which is a Pokemon themed level, you play the bicycle music from Gold and Silver. However, sometimes during the levels, they'll have a spot in the map, or the screen, and then your character will go through and you won't be able to see, and then an enemy will just pop out of nowhere, and then you'll be thinking, okay, gotta hit him. You have barely any time to notice that, because you're focusing on where your character is rather than what's ahead of him. So by the time it gets there and it's like, oh, enemy, you get hit. Or at least on your first time, you're probably going to get hit, unless you think, that random guy on the internet said that I should be careful during the part where my character disappears behind the walls. Also, the Pokemon mix, it doesn't sound exactly natural. I think they should have just stuck with just going with original music. And if they were going to put in any music, why not put in Pulseman or Drill Dozer to acknowledge we made these platformers? But I digress. That's just a very, very minor nitpick. And if that's the most troublesome thing that I can think of, they didn't put in music from their other platformers, and the fact that the game is very simple and that they screwed up just one little song, then it's off to a good start. If this is just what we're in for, this is going to be an excellent game, and why Game Freak should be making more platformers. As for the actual gameplay, as I said, rhythm platformer, it's very simple. You just go hop around from one spot to another, and you're always moving no matter what. You're always going forward, so you can't stop and just pause. It's very much like Bit Trip Runner, so if you play that, you're probably going to know what you're going to get into. You have to jump, dodge, hit in front of you, although this one you do have a lot more leadway when it comes to hitting things, and you also have to be careful when you time hitting things, not just because of, like, missing, but also because if you hit it at the right time, you'll get an extra note, which is all the difference between getting, say, a great and an excellent. And that's really important in this game, because the notes themselves, every single note that you do get is another note for the actual song. And I guess that you could say that that's the underlying mechanic that makes it complicated, or rather, that'll make it more enjoyable for you, like Pulseman's Voltecker trying to bounce around the walls, or Drill Dozer's Drillbit / Drill Dozer, or just the massive amount of EVs and whatever else is in Pokemon. That game is a lot more confusing than people make it out to be, yet It's so simple and so easy, and that's what this game is. If this is, say, your kid's very first platformer, or your kid's just looking for something to play on the 3DS, get them to play this. They're going to have a ton of fun. If you have a younger sibling, get them to check out this demo. You should check it out too, but I'm just saying, as far as baby's first platformer, this would probably be a good choice, just from what I've seen so far. You'll get a review as soon as the game actually comes out. But, yeah, that's all I really have to say. Check out the demo. Ton of fun. Really addicting. Great music. Very simple. That's all for now. Until next time, game on, my friends, and check out the demo. I said it already like 20 times, but check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out.